If you are new here, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the red subscribe button. It is very important for me. So I have a Hero Expulse 4V that I purchased in 2022. I have a Hero service center just 2 kilometers away from my home, yet I travel 40 kilometers skipping 5 Hero service centers to get my bike serviced at an express service center which charges me more for my service. I do that because all the mechanics of the express service center work on my bike in front of me. Whereas in all other service centers, owners are not allowed in the service area, and that does create a mistrust for me. Now, since past 1 year, I have relocated to Hyderabad, and I have found not a single service center that actually works efficiently in Hyderabad. But I still do have to get my bike serviced at those service centers. There's no other option. So now I ask you, are you as well like me? If yes, then how do we reduce our anxiety with our perfect machines? I'll tell you. There are some issues that can come with your bike that you can fix by yourself. And there are some issues for which you will have to go to a service center. If you have a commuter bike, you can fix 90% of its problem at your home. But if you have a very high-tech bike, you will have to go to service center. So let's talk about these issues. I will tell you what the issues are. I will not tell you the solution. You will find it on the YouTube. There are hundreds of videos uploaded on YouTube for your bike as well for these issues. So you can watch them. First, the chain. If you think your chain is a bit loose, you can tighten it yourself. All you need is some spanners. You need to loosen the main shaft of your rear tire, and in most cases, in most bikes, you have some nuts at the end of the swing arm, and you can tighten those nuts and your chain will again become tight. You also get a scale at the shaft nut, the rear shaft nut. If that scale has reached to the end, that means you need to replace your chain. Second, brakes. If you need to squeeze the brake levers too much to apply the brakes, there can be a problem with the oil level of your brake. You can check the brake oil container. The front brake oil container is near the front brake lever. There is a bottle near the lever, and the rear brake fluid bottle is above your brake pedal. There are some instructions written on the front brake fluid container. Basically, it tells what type of oil you need to put in. You cannot use any random oil. There is a standard of oil. For example, in my case, I have to use .3 or .4 brake fluid. In your case, it can be different. So if you top up the brake fluid container, then your brakes will become normal. Next is too much or too less free play in your clutch lever. If you have too much free play in your clutch lever, then when you squeeze your clutch lever, your clutch will not be disengaged properly, and this will cause your clutch to wear off quicker. If you have no free play in your clutch lever, in that case your clutch will not be engaged properly. So again it will wear off quicker. So you need to go to the service station and ask them what is the recommended free play for the clutch. They will tell you, and next time onwards you can make sure that the clutch free play is correct, and if it is not correct, then you can correct it by yourself. Next is too hard clutch or too hard throttle. If your clutch or throttle was not hard initially but has gradually become hard, in that case you might need to replace the clutch cable or the throttle cable. These are the clutch cables and throttle cables for my Hero Expulse. I've got these from an Instagram page that sells genuine Hero parts. If you see, this is Hero Motorcorp. So these are genuine parts. And this costed me only 140 rupees, the throttle cable, whereas the clutch cable, I guess, is a bit more expensive. Okay, it's 149. So in 300, you got these two wires. So basically, this is not very expensive. Chain is making too much noise. Chain is something that you need to lube every 500 kilometers. And if you are on a ride, then you can only lube the chain, it's fine. But at least every 1000-2000 kilometers, you need to clean up the entire chain as well as both of the sprockets. You need to open the front cover and clean the sprocket entire. and then you need to again lube it properly. Then you will find the chain will be making less noise. It is a mechanical part and it will make noise. So it's not a very big issue unless you have completed 15,000 kilometers and you have still not replaced chain and you're complaining that chain is making noise. Headlight leveling. In my case, in my bike, I have just two bolts. If I loosen, then the headlight starts moving, so I can level it. In your case, or in some commuters, you can see that you have to open the entire front housing to access the headlight and level the headlight. So it depends, like if it is easy, you can do it on your own. If it is difficult and still you want to do it on your own, you can try it. There's only one problem, that the wires are in the front housing, so you need to arrange the wires properly while assembling everything back. Engine oil. So many people feel that companies charge for engine oil and they don't know whether they have changed the engine oil or not. Initially, they said that engine oil is to be replaced, and then they gave the bike and the engine is still performing the same. Changing the engine oil in most of the cases will not have an observable change in your engine performance. The engine will become a bit smoother, but it depends on the viscosity of your engine oil. I mean, the new engine oil. Now, in my case, my engine oil service is every 6,000 kilometers. So, in 6,000 kilometers, I do observe that the engine oil is actually reduced, like after running in for 6,000 kilometers. So, what I do is, before giving it for servicing, I check the engine oil. And after my bike gets serviced, I again check if the engine oil has been increased by checking the level of engine oil. There's an inlet screw that you can open by yourself or using a plier, and that stick has levels, a low level and high level mark. So you can measure your engine oil by using that stick. If you still don't trust your service center, then what you can do is you can find your engine oil on the internet, on Amazon as well. There are so many companies that sell engine oil of your grade. So you can purchase that from Amazon as well, and it will come in a sealed container. You can replace your engine oil by yourself. You just need to remove one bolt, one outlet bolt that is at the bottom of your engine, and flush the engine oil, tighten the outlet bolt back, and then open the inlet bolt, and then again put the new engine oil in your engine. This is the easiest thing that you can do. Also, don't put your engine oil, old engine oil, in the dustbin. Give it to a petrol station. They know how to dispose old engine oil. You can give it to some third party garage as well. There's one more thing about engine. Make sure that you observe your engine noise every day. If there is some problem with your engine, it's the noise of the engine that actually tells the problem with the engine. In my case, my engine was making a weird noise, observing which the mechanic told me there is some problem with the piston rod. And we opened the engine and we saw that the piston rod and the shaft, the main shaft, had too much of gap, which was making that noise, and that rod had to be replaced. The engine noise will not suddenly change. It might take tens of thousands of kilometers to actually have any issue with your engine. But still, I think this is a very important observation. One warning that I'll give to everyone is never, ever, ever, ever go to any third party service center or any garage to fix your engine, because the mechanics of your authorized service center are trained to operate on your bike, whereas the third party garage experiment on your bike and then learn from it. Your machine cannot be a tool for experimenting. You have paid for it. So never go to third party garages for engine. Next, brake pads. Brake pads are something that you need to replace after more than 10,000 kilometers. So for 10,000 kilometers, you can be worry free unless you are a very harsh rider. But after 10,000 kilometers, you just need to observe if your brakes are worn out or not. If not, then you can use them. Once worn out, you can change them by yourselves. There are so many brake pads providers available on the internet, and all of them are premium. I don't recommend any premium brand to use for brake pads. Like your generic brake pads also work good, but in your case, if it is not working well, then you can go for any premium brake pads. Those are a bit costly. Replacing drum brakes are actually difficult because you have to open up the tire. But if you are able to do that, then you are just awesome. But still, you can just go to a mechanic and get it replaced. Brake pads are something that you can go to a third party service center or third party garage. It's totally fine. That will be cheaper as well. Air filter. This is a dry air filter for my Hero Expulse. Like Hero uses dry air filter because it's an off-road bike, and I got this for 290 rupees. The service center sells this for 250 rupees, I guess. Last time I got my air filter changed for 250 rupees or more than that. So I'm getting all these parts from an Instagram page. If you guys need the page, I'll write in the comment. For your bikes as well, there will be some Instagram pages from where you can get genuine genuine company parts and fix your bike by yourself. Tire punctures. If you have tubeless tires, then fixing tire punctures is very easy. You get tire puncture kit, you just need to use that kit and you can fix your tubeless tires. But if you have tubed tires, then it is very difficult because you have to remove the tire from one side from the rim and then fix the tube, which is a tedious process. So you can just go to any local garage and get your tires fixed. But this is one of the skills that I would recommend that you should learn by yourself. And if you are able to fix a tube tire, then you will be a pro. And if you choose not to learn this, then make sure that whenever you go for a long ride, your tires are in the perfect condition. So that was all about fixing bike by yourself. It is more easy to fix commuter bikes or cheaper or entry level bikes. But when it comes to high tech bikes, it is actually more difficult to fix them because of the technology and there's so many sensor involved and all. So in those cases, it's recommended to go to the service center itself and fix it there itself. And anyways, if you are paying for a high-tech bike, then you can pay for its servicing as well. I'll also recommend that you get your nut and bolts replaced at the service center. There are some issues that you will face while working on your bike. First is, if you don't have right tools, then you will not be able to work on your bike. Second is, you need to replace the flush bolt or the outlet bolt of the engine, and you need to replace the washer of the outlet bolt, not the bolt itself. So you will need to get that from the service center, and you cannot put any random washer. You need to replace the o-ring of the inlet stick, so you need to get that as well from the service center, and you cannot use the old one, or else there might be chances of leaking of engine oil. So for most of the bolts, you will have to go to a service center and you will have to get the bolts replaced. So I would recommend that once in a while you get all your parts checked and replaced. All your bolts are replaced so that the bolts remain new and they don't get stuck. So that was all the video. If you guys enjoyed, then please give it a like. If you guys are new on this channel, then please subscribe to my channel as well. Thank you so much for watching.